Let's learn how to use Brisk Boost. I have a lesson on Impressionist art. As you can imagine, that is not the most exciting topic for high school kids to learn about. So I use Brisk Boost to spark their curiosity. I like to start the lesson by having students look at collections of Impressionist art online. The great thing about Brisk Boost is it's built right into this website via the extension. So in order to attach a Brisk Boost to this website, I simply click the little Brisk extension icon. As of July of 2026, Brisk has a new look. So you may or may not see the new layout. At any point, you can move into the classic layout. From the new layout view, I'm going to scroll down and I'm going to look for the option that says Boost Activity. The great thing about the new Brisk layout is it has a natural language function at the top. So if I wanted to, I could just describe here what I want students to do. I want them to look at this collection and spark their interest about Impressionist art. And it would use that prompt to select the best Brisk Boost activity that matches that. Or you can scroll down and you can choose from a variety of different options: debate, hook, brainstorm, character chat, inquiry, etc. For this activity, I told you that the goal is to spark their curiosity. So I'm going to choose hook. I want to use the webpage of this National Gallery of Art Impressionist art collection. So I'm going to choose create from this webpage and then choose create boost activity. For good measure, let's flip over to the classic Brisk view and I'll show you what it looks like from there. I'm going to choose boost student activity. Exactly the same as what we did on the other new view. I'm going to choose create from this web page. Before we move on, I do want to note that no matter if you're in the new or the classic view, and no matter which option you choose under Brisk Boost, you have the option to create from this web page like I did, or you can say start from scratch. This is really nice if maybe you want students to be working in a Google Doc or a Google Slide instead of a web page. No matter if you're in the new or the classic view, or if you choose create from website or start from scratch, it will take you to this same identical page. This is where we really start to build what we want our Brisk Boost activity to look like and to focus on. To start, you can select a class if you have one, or you can always click add and add a class. You don't have to add a class, but it's a nice way to organize your Brisk Boost activities. Moving down on the page, here is where you're going to tell Brisk Boost what you want it to focus on. So this is where you're going to put a prompt with any information you want to give it to customize this boost activity. I will put the prompt up on the screen and read it so you get an idea of what a prompt might sound like. Keep in mind, I kept this one very short and sweet for the sake of time. You can make this prompt as short or as long as you want. Students are reviewing this Impressionist art collection. I want you to help spark curiosity and interest in the topic of Impressionist art. This could be via connecting it to a personal interest or another method. Note you also have the option to add a rubric or attach standards. You also have the option to change the language, to change the grade level. I'm going to keep this at 9th grade. You can determine the number of objectives you would like this activity to focus on, and you can also set a time limit. I love this because if you've followed my Guide Not Give framework for using AI as a learning tool, I say that AI is best in short bursts of instructional time, 5 to 10 minutes. So I typically set this at a 10-minute time limit. Once I have added all of those details, I'm going to select the continue button down at the bottom. The AI will do its thing. It will look at the prompt and all of the details that I provided, and then it's going to use that to create learning objectives, AI guardrails, and scaffolding. You have complete control over this as the educator. I can review these objectives. If there's anything that I don't like, I can hit delete. If there's anything I like, but maybe I want to edit and personalize, I can select the pencil icon and I can change that objective and then select save once I make the edits. You can also add additional learning objectives if you would like. If I scroll down, I then have the AI guardrails section. Again, it's going to take all of the information I gave it, the age of the student, etc., and set what it thinks are important guardrails for this activity. Again, I can select, I can edit, I can delete anything I want, I can add anything I want to this guardrail section, and same goes for the scaffolding section. I can edit, change, delete, add anything that I want to personalize here. Then down at the bottom, it says Student Document Setup. If you chose the Create from this website option, you're going to want to keep this at Students Receive View-Only Access to your document. Think of the document like the website. What it's going to do is it's going to have the website open on the left and the Brisk Boost open on the right. If you chose Start from Scratch, you might want to select this and change to a blank Google document or a blank Google slide. Instead of having the website on the left, it's going to have the Google Doc or Google slide on the left with the Brisk Boost activity on the right. If I'm using the writing tutor, I will almost always use this as a blank Google Doc so that they can write in the Google Doc but have the writing tutor open on the right if they need to refer to it. In this case, we're going to keep it at view-only access to your document. When you're ready, select Create Activity. This is going to take you to a preview of the student view. I love this because I can see exactly what students are going to see. I have the website over on the left and I can scroll through and look at my Impressionist art collection. And then I have my Brisk Boost activity on the right. When ready, click Got It, Let's Go. And then Brisk is going to start prompting questions. I can click Chat with Brisk Boost and I can respond exactly how a student would. I try to pretend like I'm a student so that I can make sure that the AI is doing what I want it to do. If at any point I want to change something, I can go up to the top toolbar and I can click Edit. Once you have the activity exactly how you want it and you've tested it and you feel good about it, you're going to select Share Activity in the top right corner. You have multiple options here to share this Brisk Boost activity. If you have classes set up in Brisk, you can always choose the class and assign it that way. You can also go down and copy the link to the activity and you can post that link anywhere, likely in your learning management system. You can email it to students. You could put it in a Padlet that you're sharing with students. Once you have shared it out, you're going to select Done, and then it takes you straight to the teacher dashboard for this Brisk Boost activity. Now, I just made this activity, so my dashboard is blank because no students have interacted with it. So I'm going to flip over and show you a dashboard of where I have had students interacting in Brisk Boost. Of course, I've blurred out students' names here, but here where you see the first name, last name column is where you'll see your students' names. The progress column shows you the progress that students are making through the learning objectives that you set when you created this activity. So in this particular example, I set 3 learning objectives. If I see green, that means that student has met that learning objective. If I see yellow, it means the student is working on that learning objective. If I select this eyeball icon, it will show me the real life chat between the AI and the student. I can review everything. I can pause the chat if I need to for that particular student. I can also download this chat if needed. That's a great feature if maybe you had a student that was having inappropriate interactions with the AI. You can download that chat and share it with a principal, a parent, a guidance counselor. Moving up to the top toolbar, this pause is to pause the Brisk Boost activity for every one of the students that are currently in it. So that's an important distinction. This pause in the top toolbar, all students, the 3 dots next to an individual student will pause for that specific student. At any point, even when students are active or have been active in that Brisk Boost assignment, you can select the edit button at the top of the toolbar and make any changes on the fly. You can also select share and copy the link to the activity via the teacher dashboard as well. And now we get to perhaps my favorite section of the teacher dashboard, which is the activity insights section. If I scroll down under activity insights, this is going to tell me what students are doing well with, what they maybe need work with. It splits it up by the different learning objectives that you established. Another favorite feature here is the next ideas button. What this does is it uses Brisk Next to generate potential instructional activities based on the insights and how students interacted with this Brisk Boost activity. At any point, let's say that you close out of the teacher dashboard and you need to get back into the teacher dashboard. Go to briskteaching.com and sign in as a teacher. It will take you to this screen. If you select My Library up at the top, this is where you're going to see basically anything you've created in Brisk, and you can look and find the Brisk Boost activity that you're looking for. This is the one I just created. If I select it, it will take me back to that teacher dashboard. That's how easy it is to use Brisk Boost. If you're looking for ideas of how to use this tool with students in addition to a curiosity hook, I have multiple ideas in my Guide Not Give framework. I will link to that blog post in the video notes.